Welcome to the planning section of the Community Microgrids Planning Academy. Here we will describe a basic process for creating a microgrid development plan for your community. Before beginning this presentation, it's recommended that you review two other key sections of the Academy. The basic section provides a broad overview of microgrids, what they are, and how they can provide value to local communities. The development process section provides a high-level overview of all the steps necessary to develop, build, and operate a microgrid. Planning is a critical first step in this process, so we have included this special section to go deeper on the steps needed to create a successful microgrid development plan. Before we get started, let's review some of the basics. What is a community microgrid? What are the key components of a community microgrid? And how do they fit in a microgrid development plan? First, a basic definition. Microgrid is a localized power grid that serves a small network of electricity users, typically buildings, within a small, clearly defined geographical area. Power is generated from distributed energy sources, such as combined heat and power systems or renewable energy, located within the defined geographical area. The whole system is designed to easily connect to or disconnect from the larger electrical grid, so that it can operate in, quote, grid-connected mode during normal conditions or in island mode during power outages. A community microgrid is a collection of 5 key components: interconnected loads, the buildings and other facilities that connect to and draw power from the microgrid; power generation assets, the technologies and systems that provide power to the microgrid; energy storage, which helps store some of this energy for use at more optimal times; advanced control equipment, the brains of the microgrid that help optimize its operation; and a utility connection, all installed across a defined geographic area that is capable of disconnecting from and reconnecting to the macrogrid. During the planning phase of a microgrid development process, all 5 of these key components will be considered: loads, generation assets, storage, controls, and the utility interconnection. But the primary focus during this phase will be on loads, the buildings and infrastructure that will be served by the microgrid. During this phase, a wish list of these critical loads will be developed. Data on these loads or these facilities and infrastructure will be collected. Data will be generated on geographic proximity of these various facilities. The list will be refined in terms of both criticality and economic viability, and then the list will be finalized. This list of facilities that could be part of a microgrid will be useful for other community purposes, but will form the basis of the analyses that will follow. In addition, during the planning phase, a preliminary identification of potential generation assets, storage strategies, and control strategies will also be created. But again, the focus will be on the facilities and infrastructure that will connect to the microgrid, in other words, the loads. The planning process can be organized into 5 key phases: project initiation, preliminary site identification, first-level screening, second-level screening, and the microgrid development plan. Let's take a look at each of these phases in more detail.